It's gonna be the very best day of your life. It's gonna be, yeah. Do you believe it? It's gonna be the very best day of your life.
Yeah. You was picking out your fit, plan to decorate your crib. You was about to get it lit. I know. Yeah. Oh, what? Yeah. You look at me like I'm a threat, but really I'm just a blessing. This is what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. They know I'm the truth. On some that'll change your perspective. I know what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. Walk around stressed, not realizing life is a blessing. Don't know what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. And we don't get no but your flexing. All of your antics and presents. We know what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. I can see it in your eyes, yeah, it's codependence. When you spend your time, see you're lacking vision. Where you compromise, got no independence. You see me living life and you get offended. Yeah, you get offended. But come on to the other side. I am the light so you cannot hide. Trying to fit in, got you dead inside. Tried to kill me but I cannot die, yeah. I'm alive and you cannot take it. I'm on the rise and this crown I'm taking. On the winning side and there's no mistaking. No, you cannot fake this. You look at me like I'm a threat, but really I'm just a blessing. This is what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. They know I'm the truth. On some that'll change your perspective. I know what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. Walk around stressed, not realizing life is a blessing. Don't know what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. And we don't get no but your flexing. All of your antics and presents. We know what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. Where your real friends at? Somebody tell me where your real friends at? Where your real friends at? I know you don't feel that. Yeah. But come on to the other side. I am the light so you cannot hide. Trying to fit in, got you dead inside. Tried to kill me but I cannot die, yeah. I'm alive and you cannot take it. I'm on the rise and this crown I'm taking. On the winning side and there's no mistaking. No, you cannot fake this. You look at me like I'm a threat, but really I'm just a blessing. This is what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. They know I'm the truth. On some that'll change your perspective. I know what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. Walk around stressed, not realizing life is a blessing.
This is pain, this is youth, This is all the hush hush thoughts in your room. This is for the first time out with your crew. Getting fucked up, find joy in the bruise. Eyes with the power to seduce. Hand me the aux, we could cruise. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose.
Freedom, such an elusive concept for many, available to all, yet grasped by few. A freely given birthright, yet more costly in its expression than most believe they can afford. But what is the cost to live without it? Wars have been forged over it, and yet it belongs to the peaceful. Slaves have been made in their master's attempt to barter his or her way into its city gates. But the gates of freedom are not open to the despot. Many will cross oceans to find its shores, but its borders can be found within. Its name is heralded by all nations and tongues, though most never recognize its face in their lives. They welcome and wish to see its benefits, yet resist and refuse to walk out its precepts. Though many attempt to destroy or hide its reality in their futile effort for unwarranted control, the truth of freedom will outlast any of the dissipating lies that seek to blot out its existence. Freedom is not the erasure of all boundaries, but rather the embracing of those that are healthy and true. It is not the denial or blame of consequence, but rather the right and pathway into full responsibility of every outcome in your life. Freedom is not accepted by the weak. It is the way of the strong, the gateway to growth, progress, and ultimately for everyone, a life full of fulfillment.
You give me new life. You give me new life.
It's time and I'm giving you what you're asking for. Future told no time for digging up the past, bruh. Talking about all the people that didn't last. It's scarcity, it's time for using what you have. Just be grateful, the strong is always the last. Things are quick, so settle for we could pass. People's choices are hardly the ones chosen. I'm stepping out of the grave, that's your omen. Yeah, yeah, flower child, inflorescent, warrior, feel my presence, sagacity, pressure, from dead broke, woman affluent, underdog, made a past of it, on top of this shit, what's happening, born in darkness, came to life, been in the masses, eternal life.
You give me new life. You give me new life. You give me new life. You give me new life. Oh, you give me new life. You give me new life. You give me new life.
They locked me out, outsider. Felt the pressure in the room when the boy beside him. Despite disguises, they can see the difference. Cubic don't shine the same in the diamond's presence. Them lights don't hold the same when the prophet's present. Impossible to tame when the locks are missing. The blocks are missing, the box is missing. Reach your hand and find a switch, but I'm wired different. You can think we work the same, but a profit different. You can think we preach the same, but the cloth is different. Sort of a maverick, I don't fit you boys' equations, I resist the average. Y'all playing Madden, I'm running real plays, I just make it happen. Got the doubt of saying who would've thunk of it. Life gave me the assist, made a dunk of it. I'm the one the papers chasing, so it's dumb rich. Truth's number one supply, you can come get it.
You give me new life. 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 Oh, you give me new life.
Hey, let's run it back. I think I got one more.
You give me new life.
You wasting time waiting, thinking I'ma fall behind. I'm the future, baby, I ain't even seen my prime. Culture spinning on my axis, so I'm never late. You just left to try to catch the waves that I create. But this ain't surfing, no, these waters for the boat. You never catch it from just talking about it, Lord knows. Got them nodding from the bars I wrote a decade ago. That's how you know when it's the truth, 'cause they'll never get old. And I know you getting tired of the lies when they catch you in the vulnerable times, then they robbing you blind. I know they look like sheep in the eyes, but they're wolves in the mind. Take your innocence to hang you to dry. If you question anything that they try, I speak from a confident mind and there's tears in your eyes. And it make you wanna go, and it make me wanna go. On them, hang them from their feet, I just do it with my speech.
You give me new life. 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 Oh, you give me new life.
This is pain, this is youth. This is all the hush hush thoughts in your room. This is for the first time out with your crew. Getting f***ed up, find joy in the bruise. Eyes with the power to seduce. Hand me the aux, we could cruise. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose.
Freedom, such an elusive concept for many, available to all, yet grasped by few. A freely given birthright, yet more costly in its expression than most believe they can afford. But what is the cost to live without it? Wars have been forged over it, and yet it belongs to the peaceful. Slaves have been made in their master's attempt to barter his or her way into its city gates. But the gates of freedom are not open to the despot. Many will cross oceans to find its shores, but its borders can be found within. Its name is heralded by all nations and tongues, though most never recognize its face in their lives. They welcome and wish to see its benefits, yet resist and refuse to walk out its precepts. Though many attempt to destroy or hide its reality in their futile effort for unwarranted control, the truth of freedom will outlast any of the dissipating lies that seek to blot out its existence. Freedom is not the erasure of all boundaries, but rather the embracing of those that are healthy and true. It is not the denial or blame of consequence, but rather the right and pathway into full responsibility of every outcome in your life. Freedom is not accepted by the weak. It is the way of the strong, the gateway to growth, progress, and ultimately for everyone, a life full of fulfillment.
Today I'm gonna live my dreams and accept how God created me. I won't let confusion, frustration, insecurity stop me. So I've made up in my mind that I'll be all that I'm meant to be, yeah. And there's nothing in this world that I'd let block me. I gotta get what's mine, yeah, yeah. No hater can stop my favor. It's not determined by you anyway. And I've been waiting for this moment in my life, so I ain't worried about what he has to say. And please believe me, you don't have
to bet on me, 'cause I'll bet on me any day. I gotta get what's mine. Yeah, yeah. I gotta get what's mine. I gotta get what's meant for me. I gotta get what's mine. Yeah, yeah. I gotta get what's mine. 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 Yeah, yeah. I gotta get what's mine. I gotta get it, go get it. I gotta get what's mine. Yeah, yeah. I gotta get what's mine. 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 I gotta get what's mine.
I'm giving it, I'm focused. I've got my mind right, it's ain't focus. 'Cause I never knew what I had until you came in and you worked it out. Said I'm strong and I'm moving on. I'm thankful 'cause you showed me that my deepest fear was not my failure, but that I'm powerful beyond measure. I thought, who was I to be brilliant and change the world? I'm free now of my enemies to change the world.
Yeah, I believe in this season that we'll rise above all our seasons, flying high for a lifetime. So y'all move over 'cause it's high time. Believe me, we going somewhere. The ground's fit good and we ain't staying here. Forget reminiscing and grieving, 'cause we exist for this reason, to bring back hope to our daughters, make more men of our brothers. This legacy to our fathers, that security to our mothers, to spread more light to the nations, pursue all peace with all patience, presenting God-like lifestyles. Y'all thought wrong, but it's right now. Donate millions to children, secure our future from villains. Culture shifting how you're living. Don't try to keep up, man, we different. We gon' live how we want to. Kids don't eat like they want to. Trillion dimensions through our visions. Cooking up culture in our kitchen. Celebrating forever.
This is pain, this is youth. This is all the hush-hush thoughts in your room. This is for the first time out with your crew. Getting f***ed up, find joy in the bruise. Eyes with the power to seduce. Hand me the aux, we could cruise. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose.
Freedom, such an elusive concept for many, available to all, yet grasped by few. A freely given birthright, yet more costly in its expression than most believe they can afford. But what is the cost to live without it? Wars have been forged over it, and yet it belongs to the peaceful. Slaves have been made in their master's attempt to barter his or her way into its city gates. But the gates of freedom are not open to the despot. Many will cross oceans to find its shores, but its borders can be found within. Its name is heralded by all nations and tongues, though most never recognize its face in their lives. They welcome and wish to see its benefits, yet resist and refuse to walk out its precepts. Though many attempt to destroy or hide its reality in their futile effort for unwarranted control, the truth of freedom will outlast any of the dissipating lies that seek to blot out its existence. Freedom is not the erasure of all boundaries, but rather the embracing of those that are healthy and true. It is not the denial or blame of consequence, but rather the right and pathway into full responsibility of every outcome in your life. Freedom is not accepted by the weak. It is the way of the strong, the gateway to growth, progress, and ultimately for everyone, a life full of fulfillment.
They're dreaming, they're killing your dreams, they're bleeding your steam. They're jealous of us, they're burying your potential's too much. If you would just lift up yourself, believe in you, there's really nothing else that they could ever do. They hiding the truth, they following you, cause you got the jewel. But that is enough, it's time to step up by realizing you're more than they could ever handle. I pray that you're hearing me. You're perfect as you really are. The world will see just own who you are. You are beautiful. Own who you are. You are powerful. Own who you are. You are special. Own who you are. You are royal.
Hourglass, all class. Maybe wanna spend some time with you. Girl, you know what you mean to me. I believe you were made for me. Girl, you better use your honor. It's time to let the world know it. Cause what's a star to the world if it hides its light from the world below it? I done seen them competing with you, non-stop. You ain't wanna see them do it. Steady measuring, but never measuring up to it. They could never do it. But friends soon turn to enemies. Don't let them take what's meant to be. Just make that thing your energy. Just own who you are. Just
Own who you are. You are beautiful. Own who you are. You are powerful. Own who you are. You are special. Own who you are. You are royal. Own who you are. You are beautiful. Own who you are. You are powerful. Own who you are. You are special. Own who you are. You are royal.
This is pain, this is youth. This is all the hush hush thoughts in your room. This is for the first time out with your crew. Getting fucked up, find joy in the bruise. Eyes with the power to seduce. Hand me the aux, we could cruise. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose.
such an elusive concept for many, available to all, yet grasped by few. A freely given birthright, yet more costly in its expression than most believe they can afford. But what is the cost to live without it? Wars have been forged over it, and yet it belongs to the peaceful. Slaves have been made in their master's attempt to barter his or her way into its city gates. But the gates of freedom are not open to the despot. Many will cross oceans to find its shores, but its borders can be found within. Its name is heralded by all nations and tongues, though most never recognize its face in their lives. They welcome and wish to see its benefits, yet resist and refuse to walk out its precepts. Though many attempt to destroy or hide its reality in their futile effort for unwarranted control, the truth of freedom will outlast any of the dissipating lies that seek to blot out its existence. Freedom is not the erasure of all boundaries, but rather the embracing of those that are healthy and true. It is not the denial or blame of consequence, but rather the right and pathway into full responsibility of every outcome in your life. Freedom is not accepted by the weak. It is the way of the strong, the gateway to growth, progress, and ultimately for everyone, a life full of fulfillment.
Welcome to The Way, an Iexist event. I want to say on behalf of everyone here that we're honored to have you join us for today's training and session. As a coaching and counsel company, we've been serving others since 2018. And we know that your growth, success, and fulfillment is vital, not only to yourself, but to everyone around you. And it's at the core of our heart and mission here that everyone possible be pressed and empowered to lead a life that is full of fulfillment. Thank you so much for accompanying us on this experience. We're looking forward to see how this will impact the many of you. Share this with your family and friends, all those that you love, to grant them the opportunity to partner with you as you become all that you are. Enjoy.
I love it. All right. Thank you so much for joining today. This is The Way, the Business and Leadership Edition today. I appreciate you for coming in and presenting yourself with an opportunity to receive some great information today. As always, I'm super excited because I have something good for you that's never going to change. Okay. This is a progressive movement, and I don't know. I can't wait to share, to get into the depths of truth, understanding, bring some revelatory things to you, bridge some revelatory things over to you. It's just my pleasure to do it. I've always done it at particular levels, but this is our time or season to do it this way. And again, I just appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm Bryan Pharr, by the way. Welcome to class. All right. If you will do me a favor, drop a location, city that you're watching from. First of all, let me remind you to like, share, subscribe, share this to family, friends, those you love, those you hate. Especially, there's always the people that you feel like, you know what, they need to hear this, because y'all fell out last week or whatever. Make sure you send this to that person. Not that I'm going to be rebuking anybody today, but or punishing them through words. That's not my intent. But, maybe something I say will get them in line. All right. That's your hope, right? So do those things. I also want to remind you to participate in the things that we have going on. We have some commercials that play in our pre-show that talk about our masterclass. We have a masterclass called The Road to Freedom that's still available. It is a perfect upstart for you. Last week, we talked a lot about how our company is built to bridge you from the taskmaster to the teacher. The way that I laid that out, the easy way to understand that is in a way of seeing someone go from a 9-to-5 to flying high as an entrepreneur. All right. I've been an entrepreneur for a long time, all types of ventures, from shirt company to obviously doing this coaching and some other things that I won't mention now, and helped others with business for a while. So this is just my knack, what I'm into, and my skill to bridge you over into this side of things and to help you. If you already know you're born for entrepreneurship and things like that, listen, mentorship is wisdom without the pain. That's, I believe, Mike Murdoch. It will be credited for that, I believe. But that's a very good quote because that's true. All right. We're here to mentor you, coach you, coaching and kicking is about the same, right? Because sometimes that's what it's going to feel like. I'm good for that, to kick you over the edge and get you going into new heights, new levels in your life. All right. Speaking of heights, that's actually going to be the name of our conversation today. The name of our conversation today, again, is heights. All right. The last time we were talking, and I'll make some connection points here, I was talking about how in order to move into entrepreneurship, okay, you have to come from under the taskmaster, whose job is not to make you an entrepreneur. all right, whose job is to maintain the order and the system that allow for you to have a job. Again, let's say this is a 9-to-5 typical job, whether those are your working hours or not. You understand what I'm saying? If you're an employee, file your W-2 situation. You understand? All right. Then you are under the order. Normally the type of leader you're under, even if the leader may be entrepreneurial themselves, you're under a taskmaster. Okay. All that means is this person is literally divvying out everything for you. We recognize entrepreneurship as a different mode, a different level of freedom. Okay. In order to switch over to an entrepreneurial lane, you have to get new teaching altogether, because whether you want to realize it or whether you want to admit it or not, or whether you have realized it or not, these are not the same thing. So we call that bridge, or we call that switch, going from the taskmaster to the teacher. Okay. Two whole different types of training, two whole different types of teaching all together. If I train you to be an employee, there's a set of rules I'm going to give you. There's a set of understandings that I'm going to give you. There's a set of laws, right? Sounds like rules that I'm going to give you in order to maintain your stay as an employee. If I want to make you an entrepreneur, there's a whole new set of laws. There's a whole new set of trainings. There's a whole new set of understandings. Not that some of those things cannot bridge over depending on what I teach you in employer mode. But for the most part, you can get away with having a lot less tools than you need on the entrepreneurial side if you're an employee, because you're normally highly codependent upon the system that has made you an employee. You're highly dependent on, and let's say within that system, you know, you have your supervisors, you have your managers, those things. You're really reliant upon the system and the people that have been put in place to really just make you honestly do the right things. And I'm just giving you a for instance. If I trained you on entrepreneurship, that reliance is not there. For instance, listen, guys, if I don't get up and decide through self-will, self-discipline, that this thing is going to happen, right? This live, this instance, this product is going to be made, it's not going to happen. Okay. Nobody's standing over me saying, Bryan, make sure you do a live today. Okay. Make sure you write that book you want to write. Have 2 books over here. All right. So there's no need for me to teach you that type of, or train you in that type of discipline and that type of understanding. I've said this before, and I think I put this in Wisdom for Days. Actually, I did. There's a quote in there that says, if your word matters to you that much, then you follow your own word. I'm kind of paraphrasing a little bit. All right. That's not the exact quote. But if your word means that much to you, you do what you say. And you find that if I've been relying upon those type of systems that allow for codependence, allow for comfort, it's very hard to do what you say you're going to do. Very hard. Unless you had some type of parental training outside of those systems that said, make sure you do what you say. Things like that. It's very hard. It's easy for you to do what somebody else says because that's the system you've been trained up under. But it's super hard for you to do what you said. This is why you can do 90,000 things the boss told you, but your list of 90,000 things gets checked off over the course of maybe 3-4 years. If that, if ever. Okay. If you came up under a teacher, right? Taskmaster to teacher, I would have to train you on the level of obeying your own word. Okay. Two whole different mindsets. When you're under the taskmaster, the idea is obey my word to the T. Leave nothing out. Don't add anything to, etc. All I'm saying is this is two different levels. That's why I was saying to you also that the teacher is above the taskmaster. Okay. The skills that you have to learn that you need to add to yourself will make you more in order to step into, for the sake of this conversation, entrepreneurial pursuits. Okay. Or entrepreneurship. You would need to add certain disciplines to yourself. All right. Why is this conversation called heights? Because another thing that you may never want to admit in this life is that there are heights in this life. Okay. We are not all on the same level. What I've noticed is that most of the offense that happens in society is from the immature angle and perspective that either we are or we should be on the same level. And it's just simply not true. I don't know if I want to argue the idea of should be today, but I do want to present the reality that we are not all on the same level. Okay. There are heights in this life. And let me say this up front. Okay. Because there is a fallacy, a bad argument that occurs in many of your minds that has to do with heights, right? And what you tell yourself is that certain people are made for certain heights. And there's other people who aren't necessarily made for those same heights, right? So some people were made to live low. Some people were made to live high. Okay. That's a lie. Here's what you need to understand. That heights are not according to your design. But heights are according to your desire. I think I've said this before. I know I have said this before. I'm trying to remember which podcast or which episode of the way I said this in. But I was either reminding you or letting you know that at the end of the day, listen, there's very big themes in life, right? Should I do this? Should I not do this? That have a heavenly or hellish consequence to them. A heaven or hell consequence to them. There's a lot of other subject matters that you will deal with in this life that have no eternal consequence to them. Okay. God does not care if you live in a 4-bedroom house or a 14-bedroom mansion. I'm being honest with you. It's not a spiritual salvific showing whether or not you stay over here or stay over there. Okay. Whether you're in California, whether you're in New York or some other country, Paris for that matter. Okay. Whether you're in Beijing or something like that, is not one of those overarching major conversations. Definitely not necessarily. Not at all. But there are conversations that are there. But what I'm saying is, in terms of heights, again, we would look at that as a height conversation. 4-bedroom house, 14-bedroom mansion is a height conversation. Heights are not according to your design, which means that black doesn't stop you from a particular height. Okay. Design, even in terms of your gift set to this world, does not stop you in terms of your heights. Okay, what do I mean by gift set or graces as an individual? You may be a teacher like myself, right? Or coach. You're supposed to be in this realm, you know, maybe having the gift of gab to a certain degree. You may be able to convince people, persuasive, a gift of persuasion, things like that, or sales, however you want to say that. Okay. You may be a person that is musical, like myself also. All right. You may be a person who's very great at management. You may be a person that's very good at, for some reason, the idea of just being multilingual and being able to, you know, you got the person that knows sign language and then several other languages. And then that person is able to translate and do things like, and then there's jobs that are centered around just the ability to translate for companies and for people and things like that. All right. So whatever the gifting is, you may be good at sports. We could go down the line. You may have a doctor's edge to you, a medical healthcare edge to you. You may be a lawyer, something like that, because again, you're good at arguments. Okay. You're good at finding the gaps in someone's argument. You're good at presenting the right evidence to make an argument, those type of things. Whatever your gift set is, okay, that's not determining your heights or the height you reach in life. What's determining your height, again, is not your design, how you look, what you do the best, etc. What's determining your height is your desire. Never forget this, even as we go forward in this conversation. So let me give you a couple examples of heights. Okay. Just to prove to you, again, I don't know that I'm going to really enter into the conversation of should everybody be on the same level. We're just making the point, not the argument. We are bringing forward the reality that not everybody is on the same level. I probably have already proved that enough, even when it comes down to entrepreneurship versus being an employee or something like that. All right. We talked about the bond servant last week. All right. The person who's willingly sold himself into slavery. You know, and I guess that's why I said something like that, because I guess that's something like an employee, probably a little lower on that. But even that's a height difference. So how many places can there be height differences? I won't be long. Stay in here. Okay. There's heights in understanding. There's heights in truth. There's heights in jurisdiction. Let me go back to that word truth for 2 seconds, because I'm listing them out and then seeing that one hit me real quick. All right. Do you know that what's true on one level is not true on another level? Oh my goodness. Now this is starting to get good to me. Did you know that what's not true on one level is true at a different height? Here's what you got to understand. I said this in a way, but I didn't say this straight out yet. For every level, for every height, but let me say level for a second. For every level, there's new laws that dictate, that govern that level. In order to move to another level, you need new laws. Okay, so this is how that at one level, something cannot be true. And at another height, something can be very true. Okay. It's on me really quickly to talk about the idea of inerrancy. Okay. Let me say this super quickly, and this is only for the spiritual people. Okay. there's this idea, like people use, do you mind real quick handing me this third book from the, yeah. There's plenty of people who will argue over this thing, right? And they're like, it's inaccurate. There's so many places in it that contradict another place in it. How do we know? There's so many translations. There's so many errors in it. Inerrancy is not at base level. Okay. So we talked about training. We talked about how you can be trained at a particular level, right? And this is going to bring truth to the forefront. And really, there's another word, insight. I could bring revelation, because there's heights to that, but it kind of bridges all these things. Don't worry, I'm scanning my mind to go the quickest route. But inerrancy isn't at ground level. You know what ground level is? Like basic interpretation. Ground level is, let me look at this and try to prove if it's true with my bare mind, right? Let me use some type of intellectual climbing to try to figure out whether I should follow this, or whether this is real, or whether it's true, or something like that. So some of the training that some of you would get from, let's say, a place like seminary, and I've heard it. I won't do the joke, but I've heard so many people that have been, which is not me, call it cemetery and stuff like that, right? And I'm pretty sure there's a reason why. At the end of the day, much of the training that you would receive in that type of place, you know, you got your interpretation, you got your hermeneutics, you got your homiletics, right? That's your 3 points in a close type of situation. You got your exegesis, you got your eisegesis, and all these things, all these ways of interpretation. Hear me really quickly. That calls for a specific level of intellect to be involved in whether or not you're figuring out whether this is true or not. Okay. The problem is its inerrancy is not on that intellectual level. That's the problem. The understanding, by the way, I'm going to say a strong statement right here. Bryan, I don't believe in interpretation. You do, but I don't. Let me tell you why. If I authored a book, which I have done that and will do, there's no need for you to sit and figure out what I intended by what I wrote. By the way, A New Home is it's not very, but it has an autobiographical edge to it. All right. I tell a little bit of my story in there. So if you're just interested in that, that's a good book to read. All right. A part of it. I'm very reflective, but you don't need to interpret that if you know me. If you know me, I can just reveal it to you. So why don't I believe in interpretation, which is a particular height of dealing with that book? I believe in revelation through the understanding that if I know the one who wrote the book, they can reveal to me its meaning, what was intended from the jump. That way I'm not bringing the book down to my design, which is what most people, unfortunately, that I've probably encountered, the majority do, unfortunately. Rather than bringing the book down to my design, I have to go up to its meaning. I have to bridge my life to its meaning. And this is not going to be a whole conversation about the Bible, I promise you. Okay. But all I'm saying is in its inerrancy, it's not at the level that most people try to interpret. Because then you're going to get in there, you're going to say, well, I don't understand, because at one portion of this book, it says that Satan is the God of this world. Then it'll say that we have a kingdom-like authority, dominion. We as humans have dominion over this world. And then another part says that the earth is the Lord's, right? In the fullness thereof. Listen, how can that be true all the same? And we're not going into Bible class right now, but the truth is there's no error in any of those statements, all being said within the same book. Your understanding has to be at a particular height. Okay, let's move on from that. All right. What can be true on one level cannot be true at another level. What cannot be true on one level can be true at another level. All right. There are heights in this life. Somebody in this room goes out there right now, and this is maybe truth, but let's look at the idea of jurisdiction for a second. Okay. If you go outside, check a mailbox that's not your mailbox. Pull out a piece of mail that doesn't have your name on it. We're looking at, that's federal, right? We're looking at a federal crime. So what's true for you 100% is that if you go do that currently, and this is the majority of you that will be watching this, you're going to jail. You could, but there's some type of punishment for it. Okay. Federal crime there. Now I want to be accurate about that, because would it be jail? Could you look that up for me? But whatever the thing is, there's a punishment. It's a federal crime. Okay. Now you give somebody with the right paperwork in the Federal Bureau of whatever. If I'm having that same conversation with that person, if I said it exactly how I just said it to the majority of you, they would say you're lying. Because it's true for you, but it's not true for me. Why? Because of my jurisdiction. Because that person would have a height of jurisdiction that other people don't have. Okay? There are heights in this life. There are new laws for every new level. For that person, even the law set that they would have would be different than the average Joe walking around every day. Okay? Because every new level requires a new law. Here's the positive spin on that really quickly. The positive spin on it is that you can change heights as an individual. Actually, my only point today, the cause for which I'm doing this, is to kick you over the edge in your understanding that, one more time, your height is determined by your desire. Whether you want the 4-bedroom or the 14-bedroom, it's really up to you. That's the encouragement. You can change heights, and we'll get to how to do that later. But the reality of it is that you cannot get to that new height with the same laws that you've been living according to. People, poverty is a level. It's a height. It's a height of understanding. It's a height of truth. And so this is where it gets bad, because people will argue with you over their laws and their truth. And this is where I have had to learn to gain a lot of empathy for those you're training, teaching, things like that. And I'm only saying that as an example to you other leaders out there, because the issue is this, and this is very basic, by the way. It's not the heights of leadership, but where empathy has to be drawn is in the conversation of heights, because people, and you may be right now, literally combating me with your truth. Is there a such thing as your truth? There is. Because there is a truth according to your law that dictates your level. One more time, poverty is a height. Did you know health is a height? Many times, there are so many of you who feel abused when someone is teaching you the height that they're on. You feel misunderstood. You feel beat on a little bit, things like that. But what's occurring, especially if, let's say, I'm gracefully teaching, even though I'm not talking about myself, but whoever the teacher is, whoever the trainer is, even if they're gracefully saying what they need to say, what's offensive, and remember I said this is a level of immaturity in you, because what happens is you don't realize there are different heights. Just because you don't agree with a particular thing in the moment, you have to understand every teacher that's really called to your life is going to be speaking to you from a different height. Your arguments are coming from your height, but you can't hear my truth from your height. That's why I'm here, to help bridge you over, to kick you this time, not over the edge, but up to a new height. Here's the command. Here's the demand from me here and now. Come up. Come up. Deliverance is the idea of you coming up. Even going from the task master to the teacher, in reality, all I'm saying is come up a little more. People will fight you over their laws that dictate their level. Often not understanding that, again, understanding is in heights. There's heights and depths to understanding. There's heights and depths to truth. There's heights and depths. And so what happens is there's a lot of you that excuse new heights as mumbo jumbo. Oh, they must think that they're woke. A word I've never claimed, by the way. I don't even know, where it comes from or whatever the thing is. I've been awake, I guess, for a while. I don't know. Okay. Heights. There's heights of intellect, heights of revelation, heights, people. Okay. You cannot hear my truth from your height if you are at a lower level. Don't dismiss new heights, because oftentimes God, life, is trying to usher you not from evil to good, right? That's a base level of interaction, right? We all need to have that transaction happen. Okay. If we were evil, we need to become good. But what about from glory to glory? What about from height to height? Okay. New levels require new laws. Rich is a height, people. Don't get mad at the rich man. Don't get mad at the healthy man. Don't get mad at the people who are fulfilled. Don't get mad at the happy marriage. Don't get mad. Listen, if they have any substance within what they're doing, if they are righteous, right in their upright in their standing, and have an outcome that you know you need or could possibly desire, don't get mad at the height. You have to realize one more time that there are different heights in this life. Once you start trying to level everything, level everybody and all these things, you can become easily dismissive. Once you start embracing your height as being attached to your design and not your desire, then you refuse heights. Everybody that's at different heights, listen, all laws change on different levels, which means normally the people that are at a different height that may be assigned to you don't have your dress code. They don't have your code of conduct. So you're measuring them by your laws. It doesn't work that way. You're arguing your laws, if I'm the teacher, against my height. And I'm above where you are if I'm assigned to you. That's the problem. This is why I told you, I don't even believe in the idea, a lot of people aren't this honest. They won't tell you things like this. But why would you submit to something lower than yourself? I've seen people do this so many times. I don't do it personally. Never. I won't do it. But I've seen people put themselves in the seat of judgment, unfortunately, because they're judging a person that they've quote unquote submitted themselves to constantly. I'm just praying for this person because I really wish my boss would grow up. You really need to get another boss. If that's the case, if you've outgrown your teacher that much, okay, and this isn't just a job conversation. I know I use the word boss, but let me go back to say teacher. I really wish my teacher would grow up. Get out. Why are you submitted to that person anyway? Different laws for different levels. Let me ask you something, okay? This will shed more light on what I'm here to do as an individual. Do you know how hard it is to solve a maze from ground level? Depending on how difficult it is, let's just imagine it has all of the turns and cuts in the world, okay? It's very hard to solve a maze from ground level when you realize the teacher has a different height. That I'm looking down over the maze that you're walking through. That's how we help you get out. That's how we help deliver you to the next height. Because the issue here is height. There's heights and experiences. Again, I can say there's heights, people. You need to understand that. You need to come to terms with that. You also need to come to terms one more time on this side of the podcast that it's not according to your design. It's according to your desire. And the reason why I'm pitching this to you is to prime your desire, because you need to come up. That's your problem. I told you, we ain't at the heaven and hell issue particularly. Okay. We're not at an eternal consequence conversation right now anyway. And I don't do a lot of that anyway. I'm a coach. Not necessary. I'm not putting myself out there as anything else. Okay. So I deal in heights. That's why sometimes it comes across strong and you're like, man, I thought I was doing well and all these things or whatever. Here you come messing up my level. How you going to tell me this? These laws work. Those laws work for that level. There's heights, people. Why we're here as individuals, yet again. Imagine that maze thing again. You're walking through the maze of life. My insight even, oh my goodness, is at a certain height and climbing. If some of you all knew what I knew, I might ask for one eyewitness in the building. You cannot be around me. Impossible. Does that sound French? I don't know. Sorry to everyone who has the actual French accent, who received that as a mock. Apologize. Heights, people. Insight, right? You cannot be around me. It's impossible. And me not know what's going on. I'm telling you right now. As a matter of fact, I have a counter and everything, stupidly, because people don't understand that there's heights. So they think everybody's the same. Everybody that's not me is the same. So, people will throw jabs and all this other stuff. Like, one of the dumbest things I could ever do is assume I'm the smartest. Everybody that literally assumes they're the smartest are always the dumbest. I'm telling you. Always the case, by the way, if that helps you somehow in life. Okay. Always. It's a prideful, arrogant stance, right? But the issue with that level of dumb is that it's always somebody smarter than you around you. It's always listen, you setting yourself up for a trap, because it's always someone who can see you, whose insight is further. I keep counters. I know everything. I was able to come across, I won't tell that story now. Maybe that's an inside the nation thing. The Iexist nation is what I mean by that. No other thing. That's our community, by the way, where you can come get a above the maze view, right? This is what coaching is for. Heights, insight. So nothing sneaks by me ever. Just because I don't deal with it, don't respond to it or anything like that, never gets by. Zero. Impossible. Okay. Can I get one eyewitness? No eyes. I hope y'all heard that, but it was very low, very low. It took like 4 seconds because he had to set himself up or whatever with the right vocal tone or something. I'm just telling you, never happens. Nothing. Zero. Nothing. No lie, no insult, no secret jab, no inside joke. I'm telling you, I'm counting them. It's just how I am. Because payday comes. This is an old country church idea here. Payday is coming after a while. Okay, trust me. But that's not even a threat. I'm just saying, like, it just adds up. I'm just saying you're stupid to think that you're getting away with anything. Stupid. But why am I saying that? Because there's heights to insight. That's possible. What I'm telling you is possible. You can be the type of person with the right desire, with the right, and I'm saying even desire for gifting and things like that. You know, biblically, the idea is to desire the best gifts and all this other stuff. Listen, there's heights in insight. Trust me. I don't even know why I know certain stuff that I know. Maybe I'll release this one thing to you. I'll never forget this. I'm sitting and to my knowledge, I'm telling the truth, and then we'll move on after this. I'm telling the truth. To my knowledge, I don't know anything of this, any occurrence of this actually happening right now or anything like that. As of today, I know nothing about it. I'm sitting in the hospital one day. I'm going to release this finally. Sitting in the hospital, and I fall into a state. Let me just put it that way. While I'm literally sitting in a hospital, I saw a hospital being built. Okay. Oprah's name is on this hospital. Okay. Immediately after that, I'm seeing literally the continent. There's a continent, I'm saying, and there's a bunch of girls coming from this continent to this hospital. Okay. Literally a whole bunch of African girls coming to this continent. Excuse me, coming to this hospital. From that continent coming to this hospital. Why am I telling you this? Why? Listen, we talked about levels of jurisdiction. I'm sorry to say this, but listen, you know how many people running around talking about, I'm this to a nation, I'm this, and I'm this big, and I'm whatever, and have no insight. Listen, if you are, and some of you are, large internally, your jurisdiction should be, how you know where your jurisdiction is your level of insight also. What you can see into. And as of today, I don't know her. Okay. Why do I know? There's heights, people. You can't be called to a nation, any nation, and not have a national insight. You've never seen a national anything. You can't even see the possibilities of a nation, and you're called to a nation. Impossible. Okay. I'm saying this to say that there are levels, heights. All I'm saying to you is, and that's given, by the way. Okay. But you can enter sometimes into particular places according to your desire. Okay. Let's move on. When we come back, I'll give you a key or two to heights, but y'all have to know. Let me tell you scare you one more time. That the first thing is only scary once that comes out. Okay. You know what's funny? And I'm actually sorry to be saying this one for real. We actually, although this is live, I'm not technically in front of you today. Okay. We're streaming live, but you know that if if there was a current event that happened in the world, I'm going to tell you how crazy this is, because some of you don't actually believe me, right? If there was a current event that happened tomorrow and you saw this today, or yesterday, and you saw this today and you thought I was responding to the current event when I got on this, that's not true. These right now, and I'll let you know when it's not, these are pre-recorded. If you ever thought I'm responding to real-time things when I'm doing these lives, you're in error. Because these are way ahead. I'm weeks ahead before you see it normally. I'm just letting you know there's heights, people. I promise you. That may not mean something to some of you, but to others of you, that will mean a lot if you've been watching long enough. I'm never responding to stuff in real time. I'm weeks ahead. Heights. Okay. When we come back, I'll give you some keys to heights, and we'll get you there. Okay. Don't be satisfied. Again, two things. Heights are possible. They're not according to your design, but your desire. When we get back, I'll teach you how to get into some new levels, some new heights. I'll give you one real quick. Number one, find somebody who has some height on them. Join the nation. Come be a part. What that means is get some coaching. Let me be very clear. I don't know that I've been as specific enough when I say that, so I don't want to just throw those words at you. Join the nation means to sign up for our coaching subscription. Okay. Where you can get monthly coaching for as long as you need to. All right. It's literally a subscription, just like a Netflix subscription. I'm always like, should I say this company's name? But you know, any of your other subscriptions. All right. Cancel it when you want to, if you need to, but you're going to love it so much, you're not even going to want to. I ain't seen it happen yet, to be honest with you. And that's a good thing. It has nothing to do with us. All it means is that we're providing great service. Okay. For as long as you need to, get the monthly subscription. It's a way into heights, people. The truth is, about every leader, every teacher, is that they are welcoming you into their heights as individuals. And you should be very open and willing to the heights of someone who's very willing and open to inviting you to their heights. Okay. That's rule number one. That's very simple. This is before some other keys I give you on the other side of our commercial break. Give us 10 minutes, people. 10 minutes. Enjoy the commercials, restroom break, get you a refill on the soda pop that I hope you aren't drinking or whatever it is that you have in front of you currently. And go get it and come back. Go do it and come back, and we'll take you higher. Okay. That's what I can promise you. Heights. Let's go.
Hey, if you're enjoying the masterclass thus far, I have a couple things that I'm willing to bet that you'll enjoy either just as much or even more. The first of those things is Wisdom for Days. It's my new book, and it is a compilation of 306 quotes that I've put together over years of experiences that are personal to me, that I know will help you out in your everyday life. Listen, it's just a great book. I highly recommend it to you. I want you to get it. You can get it at becomingallthatweare.com. Also, while you're there, pick up my book, A New Home. Go to the website. You can see all the details about it. It's a book that I've geared towards leaders that really will help you if you're feeling like you don't fit in life, as if you stand out in some type of way that you may not want to, but you just can't help it. This is all about how to get rid of your need to fit in and really stand out and be the person that you were created to be. The third thing that I want to tell you about is my podcast, Living the Dream. It is an Iexist podcast that I developed a few years ago that has tons and loads of great information, wisdom, insight. I gear it towards the people who need the reality of living the dream. I know that talking about the dream is one thing, but to live it is an entirely different thing. And if you want insight in what it's like to actually live a dream, that is the podcast for you. Go pick these things up. Go listen to these things. They'll continue to help you on your journey to progression, to freedom.
Freedom, such an elusive concept for many, available to all, yet grasped by few. A freely given birthright, yet more costly in its expression than most believe they can afford. But what is the cost to live without it? Wars have been forged over it, and yet it belongs to the peaceful. Slaves have been made in their master's attempt to barter his or her way into its city gates. But the gates of freedom are not open to the despot. Freedom is not accepted by the weak. It is the way of the strong, the gateway to growth, progress, and ultimately for everyone, a life full of fulfillment.
Welcome to an Iexist Masterclass.
Sinatra's song My Way, I Did It My Way, should be his theme song forever because he did it his way. He didn't wait for anybody to tell him how to do it. He did it his way.
Why you worry about me? Why you worry about me? Worry about me, it's whatever I should. Yeah.
You say there's really no way to win. You say the pressure's too much giving. You should just hold your breath, cause I say I'll do this my way. Can't understand why you're worried about me. Made up my mind that I would be free. So just keep that to yourself, cause I say I'll do this my way.
Hello. They like, B, why you all in this rap-ish? I'm starting to feel like you capping. I'm starting to feel like you acting. I'm starting to feel I'm being catfished. Do touchy subjects and ad-libs. Are you a preacher, man? Or a lyricist? Cause I don't really know if this hat fits. I'm like, wow, that's how you feel. I guess I just keep it all to myself. Won't no opinions. I don't need your help. But since you asked, let me share this wealth. Thing is, I'm both full of wisdom, full of wealth, full of God, still a earth shell. Ain't into sorcery, but I break spells. Learn to bring heaven, cause I've been through hell. And to trust funds, but I don't trust well. I'm a businessman and I'm God's man. Got a nurse brand and I dress well. I'm a lamb dressed in wolf's clothes. I'm a lion dressed in a man's robe. Dealt a bad hand, but I don't ever fold. I'm a high priest with no church clothes. Look, no cap. So you really mad cause I don't do what you do? Think I'm a fool cause I don't choose what you choose. Still living well while I break all the rules. Looks like you might have this whole thing confused. Y'all hypocrites are like 9 people, but when it come to hats, I can't wear a few. Stop playing.
You say there's really no way to win. You say the pressure's too much giving. You should just hold your breath, cause I say I'll do this my way. Can't understand why you're worried about me. Made up my mind that I would be free. So just keep that to yourself, cause I say I'll do this my way.
Hey, if you're enjoying the masterclass thus far, I have a couple things that I'm willing to bet that you'll enjoy either just as much or even more. The first of those things is Wisdom for Days. It's my new book, and it is a compilation of 306 quotes that I've put together over years of experiences that are personal to me, that I know will help you out in your everyday life. Listen, it's just a great book. I highly recommend it to you. I want you to get it. You can get it at becomingallthatweare.com. Also, while you're there, pick up my book, A New Home. Go to the website. You can see all the details about it. It's a book that I've geared towards leaders that really will help you if you're feeling like you don't fit in life, as if you stand out in some type of way that you may not want to, but you just can't help it. This is all about how to get rid of your need to fit in and really stand out and be the person that you were created to be. The third thing that I want to tell you about is my podcast, Living the Dream. It is an Iexist podcast that I developed a few years ago that has tons and loads of great information, wisdom, insight. I gear it towards the people who need the reality of living the dream. I know that talking about the dream is one thing, but to live it is an entirely different thing. And if you want insight in what it's like to actually live a dream, that is the podcast for you. Go pick these things up. Go listen to these things. They'll continue to help you on your journey to progression, to freedom.
Freedom, such an elusive concept for many, available to all, yet grasped by few. A freely given birthright, yet more costly in its expression than most believe they can afford. But what is the cost to live without it? Wars have been forged over it, and yet it belongs to the peaceful. Slaves have been made in their master's attempt to barter his or her way into its city gates. But the gates of freedom are not open to the despot. Freedom is not accepted by the weak. It is the way of the strong, the gateway to growth, progress, and ultimately for everyone, a life full of fulfillment.
Welcome to an Iexist Masterclass.
Hopping round, you was glad cause it's your birthday. Till your mom called and said your birthday was her worst day. Even with the drama, you can still make it the best day. Cause it's the best day, yeah. Baby, it's your birthday and it's the best day. It went the worst way, but let it fade away. Let it fade away, cause it's the best day, yeah. It's your birthday.
It's gonna be the very best day of your life. It's gonna be, yeah. Do you believe it? It's gonna be the very best day of your life.
Yeah. You was picking out your fit, plan to decorate your crib. You was about to get it lit, I know, yeah. You was changing out the codes, leading autumn. You was writing down your goals, I know, hey. You plan to turn it up tonight, well, alright. Then wake up to a better life. We still got time to make this right. Yes, I know, yes, I know, yes, I know, yes, I know.
It's gonna be, today it's gonna be, it's gonna be, oh.
You was jetting round, you was glad cause it's your birthday. Till the pilot called and said your bag won't be at baggage claim. Even with the drama, you can still make it the best day. Cause it's the best day, yeah. Baby, it's your birthday and it's the best day. It went the worst way, but let it fade away. Let it fade away, cause it's the best day, yeah. It's your birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, You've been dreaming about the day when you was 26 years old. You was bold, hard to go, you was always touching road. Always paying for the folks, never broke. Day before, heart was so fly, 25 to working at the store. Pretty girl, and she was wild with it.
That's hilarious. That was like heard a goof troop in there somewhere. And we'll always be together, you know. All right. So, welcome back. Number one. Appreciate you. I can't help but to say I'm a very grateful man. All right. Grateful to be where I am today. Grateful to be obviously doing this, what I love. And grateful to present opportunities to you to grow, learn, and become all that you are. It's our motto. And as I'm becoming, I already know the joys of it. We're always inviting you into that same process. Again, number one, through our coaching program and subscription. If that's something that appeals to you, you know where we're going. I'm going to tell you again, not one more time. That would be a lie. I'll tell you as many times as I need to. We are for heights, people. We are for heights. I am chosen coach. Okay. What I mean by that is I chose it too. It was chosen for me, but I'm saying like this is choice. Out of all the titles I could have given myself or gone up under or anything else, chosen was coach. All right. For now. And we'll do that until, okay, whenever that is. So I'll teach you something about myself really quickly. Let me actually describe to you. I'm going back into the lesson right now. Shirts coming soon. We got some shirts and that's it. Kanye commercial, joke, Super Bowl commercial. You should look it up if you haven't seen it. It's funny. All right. So let me teach you something about myself really quickly. Why do I dive into the spiritual side of things? It ain't because I'm your preacher. I promise you that. It ain't even a goal of mine, to be honest with you. But what I've noticed over the years is that a particular type of deliverance gotta happen for a lot of you because religious beliefs, again, certain laws that have locked you into a certain mode of thinking, especially towards God. Here's the biggest thing. God is a lot of your excuses for why you ain't where you want to be, why you ain't living your dream life, things like that. By the way, if you're just tuning in with this, I always say this, or I've said this probably up front when I started doing these. Trust me, I know how to talk properly. All right. I'm just me, though. OK, I know you ain't isn't necessarily the preferred version that some of you would use in terms of your verbiage. All right. But I'm actually well trained on a lot of these things. But hey, welcome to Iexist. All right. The reason that I go into spiritual training, yes, again, is because, you know, it's just become a lot of your excuses. All right. I know how big of a hindrance or blockage that can be. So I gotta, you know, for some of you, kick some religion out of you, things like that, things that keep you bound according to what you thought you saw or what you incorrectly heard, you know, through someone's lens who was reading the Bible to you or something like that. You cannot move forward with beliefs that inhibit you, especially and particularly for this portion of our conversation in the spiritual lane. All right. If I'm going to talk to you, if we're going to heal you whole as an entire man, we got to deal with spirituality. Again, I'm not your preacher. As a matter of fact, no matter what you see me do on the spiritual end, I'm not your preacher. OK, I'm not trying to be or anything like that. I was going to save this, but I'll say this. We find the correct partnership and stuff like that. You may see me doing stuff like baptism or something like that every now, whenever it's, which sometimes just happens by way of client participation and things like, depending on what the person comes to me for. And also according to, it just sometimes happenstance. We might birth you, but we find a right partnership, I send them to you. If they need a church home, I'm normally not even diving into things like that, especially when I'm dealing with someone with the heights that we're dealing with, right? Could be anything, but you can go to the page that's for the nation to kind of see some of the things that we're dealing with in terms of coaching. But I have to dive into the coaching realm concerning spirituality only because, yet again, a lot of you need some deliverance in the area to even reach the heights in your business and all these other things. Because for some of you, God is holding your money back for whatever reason, because you've been listening to doctrines of devils. God is holding your marriage back for some reason because who you've been listening to. It's unfortunate, but it's not real. Okay. And so we got to do some diving and digging into certain perspectives so we can get you whole, get you into new places. But I ain't your preacher. Okay. I'm not of the streets, but we in them a little bit, where I'm dealing. Might have to cuss every now and then on a regular basis to get certain things. That's a joke, but to get certain things done, but you might hear one every now and then. Okay. And we listening to Drake and all the other stuff. I ain't your preacher. I'm your coach. Okay. And I'm in the streets because that's where I'm called to. All right. As an individual, had a very important person in my life tell me a long time ago. He said, the person said, Bryan, there's a lot of pulpit preachers out here. You for sure a porch preacher. And I'm okay with that. Okay. It's what I was built and born for. It's my design. One more time. We ain't your preacher. Okay. So at the end of the day, I'm also, let's dive from that. Let's take a quick turn into heights. So the promise is this: you're going to get a little, spiritual conversation every now and then. We got to deal with the whole person. All right. Let's go back to heights and saying this, that Job is not a story of double for your trouble. We've never said anything like that. It's not the idea that you have to be cursed before you can be blessed or something like that. Like God is going to intentionally, for some reason, curse you. Right? The man had favor. The man had a particular kind of righteous standing. Okay. Job is not a story of I gotta hurt you so I can do something good for you. Right? That's not it. It's a story. Job is a story of heights. Read the Bible sometimes. If you don't, I know I'll have all types of people looking at this. I wax biblical for a reason. Every now and then, again, I already told you why. This is a story of heights. Okay. I need to point this out to you. So in that book, in the book of Job, you have a man who, again, I think I said it this way, hell hit this man's life like the plague out of nowhere, right? As a matter of fact, he was recommended for a hellish experience. Okay. Ended up losing his wife, children, livestock. Again, very blessed man, all these things. But what's the issue here? I know I've talked on it before. We talked about pride. We talked about self-sufficiency. He was righteous according to the law. Oh my goodness. Hear me, people. He was righteous according to the law. The issue was not that he was wrong. The issue was height. Because every now and then, remember, I said heights are not according to your design, it's according to your desire. But do you know, not only do we have our own desires, but God has his own desires. I'll quote this. I remember Oprah saying at some point, she said her life completely changed when she gave up her dream and she gave over to God's dream for her life. Do you not know that God has a dream for your life? He has a desire for your life that you don't have to enter into. Let me say this really quickly. This is for a whole nother class, because a lot of you have a problem like, I don't know God's will for my life. I don't, all these type of things, right? I'm dealing with the spiritual people for 2 seconds. All right. His will is listen, and I'm teaching you this. And again, this ain't the heights. I'm made for heights. I told you this podcast, my people are mature people. I'm for the mature. I've said this 100 times over. If you're not mature, you're going to have a problem with these heights, with seeing them, with accepting them as truths and all these things or whatever. You may have an immaturity problem if you can't handle these heights. I'm just being honest with you. So either you accept the heights or you turn it off. Always an option. Okay. But here's the idea, because these are heights. Here's the idea. There's different laws for different levels. God has a dream for us all. He has desires for us all, right? You're like, I don't know what God's will for my life is. And the thing about what I'm saying, I'm sorry, let me divert just 2 seconds. This ain't the heights. Somebody should have taught you this as base understanding. Even in your spiritual conversation, these are base understandings. You don't have to worry about God's will for your life in this sense. His will, or if you even think about it that way, the will of the divine for your life is tied to your design. We'll save this for another talk. Okay. The will of the divine is tied to your design. Okay. Period. You operate according to your design. You're in his will. Simple. A lot of you make this stuff really hard, but this should be a base understanding. Anything above the will is a desire. I desire that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. We end the podcast every time saying, that it's our desire that you would prosper. All right. If my desire is that you would prosper, that means that it does not have to happen. Okay. Will is in your design. Okay. Desire is in heights. Job's story is one of heights. It's not a conversation of will. Was the man in God's will? Was he going to hell? Or something like that. Who said he was? It's a conversation of heights. He could not enter into God's desire, the height that was desired for him, with the laws that were currently working in his life, although they were good. They still allowed for pride to seep in there a little bit. They still allow for attachment to seep in there a little bit. to this world. In order for Job to get to a new height, he had to get rid, or what had to be rid from him was the current level. And everything that was attached, go back to, what's the name of it? Focus. The second half of Focus, please watch the whole thing. Everything that was attached to that level had to die. Because what I'm telling you is, in order to graduate into new heights, we talked about turning completely from the taskmaster to the teacher. You cannot go into new levels with old laws. You cannot go to new levels, to new heights with the same things you were dealing with at your, or that you are dealing with at your current level. This is why detachment is so necessary. I told you the only reason he even lost his wife was because her attachment to the things that were on that level. I don't believe God wanted to get rid of her. You know what I'm saying? There was an attachment to that level, but there was a divine desire for a new height. The man wasn't going to hell. That's not the issue. It wasn't about having to be cursed to be blessed. It was about new heights, people. And you got to get rid of everything on a particular height. Old mindsets, old everything. And so what I'm saying is, some of you are cursing yourself, to be honest with you, because you're attached to the laws of your level. You can't even get new freedom. You can't get new ideas. You can't get, because you're attached too much. And I get it. When it gets comfortable at a particular mindset, a particular money amount, a particular set of and group of friends and all these things, new heights require new laws. New levels require new laws. You have to exchange, people. This is rule number 1, by the way. Exchange. Completely. We said before the break that you got to be open, willing, get you a teacher. Number 1, right? Who can explode you into new heights. Okay. Who has the design for heights and the desire. Okay. But the first rule of heights is understanding completely that it's an exchange. Everything was taken at one level so that there could be given a new level in his life. I hope you can hear me. Can we design a button that's like, I hope you can hear me? I need one of those. It has to have a little tune to it. I hope you can hear me. Something like that, right? Little vocal inflection. I hope you can hear me. Okay. You got to get rid of the old to embrace the new. Every single time. So when we're talking about health, when we're talking about prosperity, when we're talking about relational level, when we're talking about valuing yourself, okay, as an individual, you want to talk on a level of dignity, respect, anything like that, you cannot accept the old and walk into the new. Impossible. You can't not only gravitate, but you can't hold on to the old. I never forget. I asked the Lord a question a long time ago. I said that your scripture says that any man that's in Christ is a new creature. All old things have passed away. All things have become new. Also, that any man who is set free by you is free indeed. I asked, why are there so many strongholds still present in the life of the freeman? Answered me almost immediately. I think I was going through a drive-through. Might have been your favorite place. Okay. This was years ago. What he told me, what I heard, was that any person who's been set free and still has a stronghold, the stronghold is present not because it's holding on to them strongly, but because they are holding on to it strongly. You won't let it go. You know, some of the good things in your life can become a stronghold. Not because it's holding on to you strongly. You can't exchange it because you're holding on to it strongly. And you won't let it go because you don't know there's a such thing as heights, people. Heights. That's why I was saying last time, a lot of you ain't seen the dream yet because you got good, but you didn't get great. How is there a such thing as you can go from one level of faith to another level of faith, from one level of glory to another level of glory, right? This is a biblical instance, but you understand what I'm saying, even if you've never read the Bible, right? You know what glory is, right? Let's say fame, let's say whatever word you want to put there. Okay. How can you rise if there aren't heights? All I'm telling you is to embrace the heights. Okay. Exchange. First rule of heights that I'm going to give you today. By the way, that the real first rule that I gave you before, and your willingness to take on a teacher, a master, not a slave driver. When I say master, I'm saying a master at a particular thing, a master of heights. Your willingness to take on a master. I remember Jay Electronica, I think, was saying anyone that wants to become a master must first submit himself to a master. Okay. You have to submit yourself to his or her heights in order to embrace, to gravitate, or to climb into their heights. So that honest first one that I gave before that I'm not counting now is humility. Humble yourself is the way that a scripture would say it, under the mighty hand of God, and he will lift you. Lift. What does that sound like? Heights. You get lifted with humility. I'm going to say something. I'll share something with you really quickly about myself. There's nobody that I can't learn from. Nobody. There are people who are younger than me that I came across some years ago who I learned, I'm a stylish person. I like dressing in the way that I like dressing. Okay. I'm a stylish person. Okay. But I'm not put on to every new clothing line and stuff like that by somebody older than me and somebody that I should be okay with learning from because they have some maturity on me. Some stuff I pick up from a young guy you meet around the way or something like that. Dude, what's that? Oh, this is this brand. I really like that. May look into it or something like that. I know that's a very small example, right? But I'm thinking of real examples. Sometimes I'm learning stylistic things from someone who just may happen to be younger. Okay. Listen, it doesn't matter your age to me. I can learn from you. It doesn't matter your gender to me. I can learn from you. It doesn't matter your ethnicity, culture, or whatever the thing. It's my nature. I've learned. I'm a learner anyway. You can tell probably if you listen to enough of these, the pockets of information I have. By the way, I did find out over the break that, well, I already knew it was a federal crime, but I guess there's different degrees of punishment for going through somebody's mail. Okay. All right. That's back when we were talking about the different heights of jurisdiction. Okay. But I can learn something from anybody. All right. It doesn't matter. And so just covering that real quick piece we did at the end of the first half, humility, people. You humble yourself, you get raised to new heights. All right. Second rule of heights is exchange. Okay. Let me go back one more time. I'm sorry. The other side of humility is this. Again, understanding. First half conversation coming back around that there are heights. Stop being so content. Let me put that in the humility bar. Stop being, well, let me not use that word. Stop being so satisfied with the height that you're on. There are heights, people. There was a thought about bringing to light the guy that, who really I would consider fathered me in terms of faith. Listen, if I pulled him up right now, see, the funny thing is you're used to certain heights and you've become very satisfied with your heights, and sometimes because of the isolation you have. Okay. You're too isolated. You don't like, it's cool. My height is always good when I know nothing of other heights. Okay. You're too isolated. You don't know enough. You don't have enough experience. You haven't exposed yourself to enough heights to even be satisfied. I think that the majority of us, after being exposed, would understand. And I'm not saying you can't be happy on your height, on your level, but I'm saying satisfaction, contentment is okay. Satisfaction, because that means that, listen, I can eat a burger today. I can eat filet mignon tomorrow. I can have a Wagyu, whatever the thing. Okay. $1,000 steak, $10 burger. I'm content. I understand that. We should all actually live there, no matter what height you're on, because that means that your confidence is not coming from Wagyu. Okay. It's not, your confidence ain't coming from caviar. All right. 100%. You stabilize with God power. Okay. With God backing, God confidence. That's your stability in life. That's why, again, we build the spiritual nature down at the base, no matter if you're coming to us for business or anything like that. That aside, you shouldn't be satisfied with the level you're on. You got to have desire. I believe desire, thirst, hunger is an output of humility. I believe that. I believe at my level, my height, I see satisfaction to the point of refusal of even exposure to new heights, acceptance of new heights, even if it's God's dream, his desire for you. Refusal of it to me is a pride issue. It's actually arrogant. You just want to be satisfied at the level you're on. And that's insane. Okay. Humble. Be okay. There are heights out here. So I thought about bringing up the guy that I would consider fathered me in terms of faith or spirituality, things like that. You know, even any given day, if I pulled him up right now, I could show you the man in front of 100,000 people, 100,000. I will need to actually look that up. But between the two numbers there, for sure, at least 100,000 people. Okay. At one time, one sitting, you're talking about your miracles, your healings, your all this stuff, the whole nine. Okay. If I mention his name, I probably high 90, if not all of you right now, may not even know him. Why am I bringing that up? Exposure. I'm saying there are heights you haven't been exposed to. You teachers, you presenters, you people who gather on any level, whatever, for business, for whatever the thing is. All right. You know, if you the DJ that's going in front of the crowd at Coach Ella. All right. If that's you, listen, there are people that you know nothing of. You thought you were good. You thought you were at the highest of heights. But then, even after I thought about that, because I pre-thought about this conversation, obviously, right? Couple days before I'm recording this, to be honest with you, I don't know if somebody sent it to me or it just popped up social media. I'm seeing another guy who was mentioned to me. I had never even heard of him until years ago. Some person brings him up to me. I still didn't really look into him or whatever, but like his output came before me the other day. And I'm going fast in 2 seconds here. The guy in one sitting was in front of 1.6 million people. One sitting. We ain't talking about over days. 1.6 million people. You don't know them. That's the problem. We're talking about heights. You ain't high enough. What's the command again? Rise. Come up, people. Stop being so settled into your heights. The rules of listen, all the rules change at different levels. New laws for new levels. Let me ask you this real quick. What is a murder to a god? The right phrase is the God, to God. But what is a murder to a god? We talked a while back about the idea of people becoming so, again, religious and oriented in their minds that God can't deal with you the way he would someone else because of the level and the law you've attached yourself to. Some of you have inerrancy, problem seeing inerrancy because you don't understand simple things super quick. How in the world can somebody that's asking you not to murder then go say, take all them folks out over there? What is a murder to a god? He not talking from your level. Your law that was made. By the way, I never argue against the idea of laws being a good thing. I would never tell America, with all the craziness that's outside, to say, hey, can you just release everybody from the laws of the land? Sometimes that's the only thing that's scaring people in the consequence from doing the right thing. We understand that's a level, people. But you know, my conversations are above that level. I know how the law works. I get it. We above it. Remind me to do that conversation one day above the law. Please. God is above the law. What's a murder to a god? If I could take your arm off and put it right back on, how am I actually doing harm to you? If I could raise you, what is a murder to me? Think, people, think. New laws for new levels. He don't got your laws. That was given to you in a deprived state. All right. Don't be satisfied. That's all I'm saying. Come up. Stop doing that. Oh, we're good. I'm this. I'm good. Me and God tight. Not tight enough. My business is exploding. Heights, people. There's heights. All right. All of that is under the understanding of humility. back to the second thing, exchange. Let me give you one more. And this will be the last key, and I'm done, I promise you. Okay. Exchange is around the idea of detachment. Okay. So here's the third thing I'll say really quickly. Laws of heights. Dream. This is going to be a really good one, by the way, to end on. Here's another command for you. Do the dreaming. Don't resist the dreaming. So you can have your own desires, people. You can have the desires of your heart. Last command, last law of heights. Dream. Dream again. Okay? Don't be afraid of the heights of your dream. Maybe your current law can't get you there, right? The current ways you think. I'm saying what rules your current level, right? What governs your current level. But again, there's different laws for different heights or different levels. All right. So, but here's my thing. Grace will take you there. Okay. Your current laws won't work on the next level. And so a lot of times, and again, this goes back to the exchange thing. You're going to have to exchange those laws for new laws, new higher laws. Laws of gravity versus laws of aerodynamics. Okay. Right. Two different ways to work. I could get real technical and go deep on that side of things, but I won't for the sake of time. Dream, people, dream again. Actually yield to your desires. You may not be able to get to your dream or your desire, but I'm teaching you. The problem is you haven't exchanged. It's not that you can't get to your dream. So you got to allow yourself to dream, but it's not that you can't get to your dream. Oh, I've been disappointed so many times. I tried to go for it. The problem is you're using your current laws of your level. See, the dream is on another level. You know why a lot of you may not be able to see what I'm saying? Because you're trying to see what I'm saying from your current level. You got to lift up. You have to accept my height. And I'm sorry that sounds, I'm not even trying to make myself as somebody that's looking low on, that's not what I'm saying. Hear it properly. Even that is a height problem. If you thought that by me saying that, I'm not saying that. But there is a such thing as height. You're going to have to accept that. Okay? Embrace the dream. Dream. I'm just teaching you how to get there. The problem is you cannot live at the level of your dream with your current laws. There's laws that govern that dream. There's laws that govern if health and prosperity is the dream for me. There's laws that govern that place, that space. This is how those of us, by the way, know that once we reach that particular place, you know, there's no coming down because we've actually exchanged laws. We've actually exchanged levels. Once you understand heights from this standpoint, you start to realize there's no coming down from it because I'm operating from a new law. You know, laws are permanent. This is why someone who has embraced the laws of the billionaire, right? You could take all that he has tomorrow and he could build it back in 6 months, in 10 months, or whatever the thing, because he knows the laws of billionaire status. Once you know the laws of health, can't nobody, almost corrected myself to say it properly. But no one can take it from you because there are laws that govern it. There's laws that govern poverty, and you are operating by them. As a matter of fact, let me do one more spiritual insight thing. Trust me, you all don't realize the devil can't mess with people who are operating at a higher or by a higher law. You don't understand this. Some of this is legal. Don't you remember I just said there's heights to jurisdiction and everything? You know, if Satan's tied to this world, it's certain heights he never getting to. It's certain people he ain't touching. God obviously being one of them. But how could you be seated with Christ and be getting touched by Satan all the time? Laws and levels, people. Some of you getting demonized because of the laws you're living by. The dream is possible. That's all I'm saying to you. But you got to rise higher into a new law. What's my effort again? Why am I kicking you today? Rise, people. Rise. Okay? Rise. One more time. And I'm only saying this because I need to double down on the fact that this is business and leadership edition. There are heights, laws, levels in terms of success. Your business, I already talked about the billionaire mindset. Okay. We can talk about the trillionaire mindset. All right. These are laws that are governing particular levels. Maybe I shouldn't open it back up because it's I just got the side hit. And that's pushing me. I'm getting bullied into some heights over here. Okay. New laws for new levels. Your business cannot rise with the same laws you've been using. Trust me. There's laws that govern this world. Okay. That provide space for you to be successful in it. The sun got to do its thing the same way every day. Okay. That's for a reason. Laws are, I'm just trying to figure out, I don't want to go too far back into this. All right. There's new laws, new systems, all these things. All right. But there's laws around these systems that cooperate to create a successful planet. There's laws around particular systems that cooperate to make your organization successful. It's just how it goes. You cannot go into new levels in your business and success without exchanging the laws, exchanging levels that have new laws. You can't do it. What looks wrong to you at a particular level is right on another level, because there's new laws that govern new levels. Even in your business, you don't understand it. I don't understand why this. There's laws that govern fame. And it's not take your clothes off or sell your soul. I'm not sellable. Trust me. But watch how we rise. Watch. And one more time, I'm not sellable. I was bought with a price a long time ago. Jesus paid it all. Bought me a long time ago, brother. That's freedom. Okay? You've been bought with a price. But anyway, so here's the whole idea, okay? Dream, okay? Exchange. I'm going backwards now. Humility. First of all, humble yourself. Understand that there are heights. Understand that there are laws that govern each height. that you have to embrace a new law and a new level in order to see new heights. But you got to be open to it first. Your desire is also in that humility. Your hunger, your thirst is by divine understanding, revelation, but it's just humility, people. Embrace new heights. Wherever you are, you ain't far enough. Trust me. I'm sent here to tell you today, you ain't far enough. You're demonizing new laws and new levels because you're trying to judge them from your law and your level. It's not how this goes. But the heights that you want are at new laws and new levels. Okay. Back to exchange. You got to exchange completely. That's simple. Detach, obviously, but exchange new laws for new levels. Okay. Lastly, dream. Don't be afraid of desire. Don't be afraid to dream, people. Stop letting religion, stop letting your auntie, your dirty uncle, okay, whoever. Stop letting these people talk you out of it. I don't care if it's your preacher or whatever the thing is. Stop letting idiots cause you not to dream. Dream killers, suckers, whatever the thing is. Stop letting them kill your dream. Desire again, okay? So that you can open up even the window of the possibility to see new heights. Embrace new heights, rise. As you know, it is our desire that you would rise. And until next time.
We hope you enjoyed our experience. If you would like to gain access to more in-depth teachings such as this one, a host of other products and services, or the opportunity to partner with others who are becoming all that they are, join our exclusive membership community. Join the nation, the Iexist Nation. All the info you need can be found in the description of this video. Until next time.
Just keeps getting better and better. You just wait and see. You don't have to see it now in order to believe. Life just keeps getting better and better. You just wait and see. You don't have to see it now in order to believe. Better, better. Better, 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 better. Ooh, better, 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 better. Life just keeps getting better and better. You just wait and see. You don't have to see it now in order to believe. Life just keeps getting better and better. You just wait and see. You don't have to see it now in order to believe. Better, 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 oh, better, 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 better. Life just keeps getting better and better. You just wait and see. You don't have to see it now in order to